Okay, so I would like to welcome everyone to the Mansfield Area Chamber of Commerce candidate forum for MISD School Board. So we have previously drawn cards. We know who's going first. So we're going to delve right into it. But first, we're going to have a few words from Mr. Warren Davis. So I'll go ahead and let you get started.
Great, and thank you, Lori. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Warren Davis, and I'm a candidate for school board place number 6 here in Mansfield. Really thankful for this opportunity, and I'm somewhat intruding on the remaining candidates. I'm in place 6, and it looks that all of my competition rather has officially withdrawn from the race, and so I'm here more so just to introduce myself. So again, I'm Warren Davis. My wife Terry and I moved to the Mansfield serving area when we got married back in 1999. We moved properly into Mansfield City itself, into the city of Mansfield in 2003. We have 3 children who have only attended MISD schools. The oldest 2 have matriculated through, a junior at the University of Texas and a freshman at Tarrant County. And I have a remaining 9th grader at home at Lake Ridge High School. I've had the last opportunity to serve the district in the last 5 years through the MISD Education Foundation and the community at large through a number of different agencies, including the Bethlehem Baptist Church, Fraternity, the New Pi Lambda, Arlington Grand Prairie Alumni Chapter area.
You're welcome.
Cancer Care Services, and I'm a former board member there over in Fort Worth, and in a number of other ways and programs. I've also had a chance to serve the district on a number of committees as well in the past, bullying, naming, and I'm currently on the safety committee where we're working with a new leader, Mr. Diaz. So again, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm thankful for the time. Best wishes to ladies today, and look forward to watching. Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. Thank you, Warren. Appreciate you popping in on the call here.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're going to start with our first question, and Ms. Yolanda, why do you want to serve on the school board, and what do you consider the primary responsibility of a MISD school board trustee?
Lori, thank you for the opportunity to share and speak this afternoon, and greetings to all. I want to be a part of the Mansfield ISD School Board trustee. I have a variety of experiences, starting with 32 years of classroom experience. I believe that I have a lot of value, a lot of experience to serve on this committee, on this board. I have also worked in various areas, and I've been very blessed to have my life peppered with tremendous experiences, serving on various state boards with the State Convention of Texas, the Southern Baptist of Texas State Convention. I have also worked in a variety of entities within the school in which I served for 32 years. 2 different districts, Dallas ISD and Arlington ISD.
Don't be getting me in trouble.
I want to be a part of the school board to bring in some new perspective. The diversity, the demographics of Mansfield ISD has changed tremendously. And I believe that I can be that voice, that link between the community and between our students and teachers. And I want to be that voice, that link, that bond.
Okay. Courtney, I'm going to ask you the same question, but since you want to go there.
I thought you were going in order. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to go here. It makes it easier.
I'm type A.
Okay. All right. You're going next.
I'm gonna work around it.
So why do you want to continue your service on the school board? And then what do you consider the primary responsibility of a trustee?
Thank you, Lori. I am asking for re-election, and especially right now more than ever with all that we've already seen with our school districts, and that's as a whole. That's not just Mansfield ISD, of course, and what this pandemic has caused. And then there's other items that were on the table even before that. I think that what makes a good leadership team is a good combination of old and new, so to say. Myself and one other trustee would be considered seniors, right? Upperclassmen, I'm gonna go with that instead of seniors. And so it really makes it a great team to have some old and new. I am, I grew up here. I'm a product of MISD, and I've always found it thrilling to give back to the same district that was able to put in me, right? And I think I turned out pretty good. But I do just to let some people know, because even though I've been here a long time, it is a growing community. As Ms. Pearson just stated, that there are a lot of people that don't know me as a person, and so I am. Yes, I'm wearing my school colors because it's Spirit Day at work. I work in a neighboring school district. I have a combined family of 7 children. The youngest is a freshman in high school. And we just went through the senior fiasco, what we all had to go through for the pandemic.
Okay.
Will you repeat? Oh, so why I want to run for this position?
Yes.
I'm Corinne Piagami, and I am a parent of 3 Mansfield ISD children, 2 in elementary, 1 in middle school. I grew up in this area roughly. I am not a product of MISD, and I'd say that you did a great job with the folks who are products. I'm just a little bit north from Arlington ISD. I graduated from James Bowie High School, and I'm a child of the Metroplex. When we came back after I went to school at the University of Virginia for business, and then I taught for a couple of years, wanted to pursue education policy. So went to Duke University to study public policy and got a master's degree there. And my passion has been in education and working to improve educational opportunities for all children. So when it came that I was delivered with twins, I came back home to this area and I chose Mansfield, and it is a great place to live, to learn, and to teach. And I wanted to be here to contribute. I believe that the job of a board trustee is to work with the other team members and the superintendent to set a vision for the district, hold each other accountable to those outcomes, and be a cheerleader for our children and for our teachers.
Okay. So the next question, Yolanda, is what do you consider the greatest challenge to Mansfield ISD over the next 10 years?
Over the next 10 years, I believe the greatest challenge would be to continue on the path that we're on now, is to graduate our students on time, to have them prepared for life skills, the military or college or whatever their choices may be. As we know that time continues to change and things continue to change. And so making our children, our students prepared for the future in the ever-changing world that we're in. Also the use of technology, making sure we start in kinder, introducing our babies to technology and just having a voice and knowing how to navigate in that arena. So there will be some challenges, no doubt. Things change every day, daily, and we've seen that. But I believe the preparation of our students, and also I would like to add in there, letting our students have a voice, giving them a platform, letting them express their concerns, their needs, their challenges, but having our students prepared for the next 10 years, because it's going to be a challenging time.
Ms. Courtney?
Over the next 10 years is yet to be foreseen, because especially with what's going to come out of where we're at right now. She made some very good points, and yes, it is and if you notice our goals, but with the students, that keeping them on time with graduating, but also keeping the highest number of graduates that we can and making them, whatever that is, college ready, career ready, military ready, real world ready, you know? And so, yes, that's a big, we're also taking a big hit where a lot of people may or may not realize, but through all of this, our public schools have taken a big hit financially. And that's going to be another issue with it, because I'm a firm believer in paying our teachers especially, but all our staff, because it takes the whole team as much as possible, and keeping us competitive, because, you know, the old adage, you get what you pay for. And I truly think that they are our boots on the ground, and I want to keep them supported in every way we can, and keep the possibilities for them to be able to put out for our students the best that we can. Also, speaking of that's another thing that's going to be is just teacher retention, and not just retaining teachers, but retaining the good teachers that we already have. And so, and that they want to be here and enjoy their jobs, and which most of ours do. And that's what I've attributed to so much of just in the pandemic. Can I buy time?
Take a bow.
The challenges facing the district in the next 10 years is what the question is, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I echo what has been said before. I think that first we need to get through this current challenge, and we don't know how long it's going to take. I don't think it's going to take 10 years. I think it's going to be less than a year. That's my prayer. And I think that if we can come out stronger on the other side, that's going to only be better for all of us and our students and our families. Before this pandemic, I would have said that our top challenges could be a positive. This is a district one that people want to come to, and the numbers and the growth and the family sizes, and you know, we don't want to get to a point where we're using portables at every school. We don't want to get to a point where there's a mix of allocation of kids. Maybe one school is packed, one school is not so many. So I think working with demographers, working as a team to make sure that we're allocating our resources strategically is a key challenge for the next 10 years, as we're only going to continue to attract people by the good work of the communications department. I see you back there. So that's one thing. And then also I just want to say that we need to target resources to the families and the students who really need support. We do a great job in all of our schools. There are populations, particularly I'm thinking special education, that need more resources.
Okay. All right, so the next question, and Courtney, I'm going to direct this one. You were going to mix it up just a little bit and go that way. Give Miss Yolanda a break from winning her card.
I know, right?
Yes. So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on social emotional learning, and how important do you believe that it is in the education of our children?
Well, very important, first of all. And I've been a proponent of social emotional learning even before it was a thing, you know, before we had the acronym, the SEL acronym, and for many years now. And it was one of my first pulls as a trustee, as a new trustee. And, you know, it's so important, and now more than ever. I've got constant communication from people, not just Mansfield ISD, but around the state. You see story after story and what this is doing to our students as it is, but also just the items that they've already had to work through even before this crisis. And it is a crisis for our students. You know, if we can't get to them, reach them, educate them, help them, because we've taken on a lot more than just the education now, you know, as providing food for some, as providing care for some, counseling for some. And so there's just this whole ramification that goes along with the SEL. You know, on the flip side of that too, I've always been a proponent of, instead of, you know, we not only, of course, work with the student that's in crisis, but on the bullying side of that, I've always wanted to get help for the bully as well, because I'm convinced that no child is born bad, right? And so why is that child acting out? What is making them maybe be aggressive in nature, maybe not understanding of how they're treating another person?
I remember in 7th grade, I was on a care team at our school to help with if there's other students who are dealing with something. And some schools had it, some schools not. It wasn't formalized. I was really proud of our district and our district leadership when they really put a focus and an intentional look at making sure our children and our students have the support that they need for social emotional learning and growth. That's where it starts, putting that focus there. And I think it's extremely important because we don't want to just serve one side of our students. We need to serve the whole student. And I appreciate that the superintendent had that background and helped with that. Also, I would say that some of the things, the stories that are the most concerning sometimes rise to the top. For instance, we heard some stories at the last board meeting about students who are facing bullying situations that shouldn't be happening. I've heard from someone at the Black Student Alliance Association who said that there has been bullying related to race or comments. And I know that special education students have a hard time with those types of situations as well. So yes, we must have that focus on social emotional learning, and that includes teachers too. There's always some training that can be in place for helping to deal with students who are facing trauma, which is a lot of our children today are facing trauma, including this current crisis.
Okay, Yolanda?
It has been my experience in 32 years of teaching that I have had students, I had special ed students. I was a regular ed teacher, but I had special ed students. I had autistic students. I had just a variety of students within my classroom. Some days they would have good days, they would have bad days. And you never know what a child is going through. And so the social part and the emotional part, it has to be in place. We have to piggyback off of what I believe Courtney said. We have to educate the whole child. It's not about this child is acting up in class. We need to understand, why are you having a bad day? What's going on? Is there something that I can help you with? Or providing those resources, maybe for the student and the parents, so that they can get over what hurdle they're facing. I know even now with the virtual school learning, I know a lot of parents and a lot of students are facing some very challenging situations that they have never experienced before. And so that support has to be there. Just like us, when we're having a bad day, sometimes we just need to take a time out. I used to always tell my kids when I came home, I'm going to take this bubble bath. Don't bother me. Let me get myself together, and then I can deal with you.
Time.
Thank you.
So, Corinne, you're going to start the next round on this. You guys have mentioned a lot of the challenges and the problems and issues. So my question to you, with all of that in account, how do we continue to raise the bar from an already high achieving school district?
Thank you for that question, because when I told people that I wanted to run for school board and they said, what problems are you trying to fix? Sometimes I was like, well, the district's pretty good already. So it's not about fixing big problems. It's about making us all better and continuously improving. And I believe that one way we can do that is increasing the voice of students and parents. I heard Yolanda say that as well. And in particular, you all listening already know that this panel of women is awesome. And the only thing that I would like to add that lifts me up, I think, as an opponent, is that I'm a parent of a current students who are in elementary and middle school. And I think that voice needs to be heard in order to make our district better in the leadership realm. And since I have some more time, I'll elaborate. So we have board members who have high school students. We have board members who have had experience going through the district. I think we need to have a voice that really represents what elementary and middle school students are experiencing right now. And I think that would improve our actions as a whole.
Okay. We'll go to Yolanda and then Courtney.
Repeat the question for me, please.
So the question is, we've stated a lot of issues and problems that are currently going on. So how do we continue to raise the bar of a district that's already achieving great things?
Continue to raise the bar, continue to set high expectations from our students, our staff, our administrators, hiring qualified teachers, retaining those seasoned teachers. I'm probably, I'm going to say this, but don't use it to your advantage. I'm probably the oldest here, but don't get that twisted. I do have a 25-year-old and a 19-year-old who actually graduated from Lake Ridge. So I'm not removed from that because I even subbed in Arlington working with a reading program. So I'm very aware of the needs of our students and what's going on. I hear the voices of the parents. I hear the concerns of the community. And so I'm very much in tune to what's going on and setting the bar high, not lowering our expectations, but we continue year after year to set that bar extremely high. Campuses continually looking at their improvement plans. How can we improve? What can we do to make our students better, to make them more accomplished? And I believe that's what we can do. Continue to set the bar.
Just to reiterate a little bit, just for an understanding of where my family comes from, yes, my immediate family is here and we're extremely close. And so our family does range in age of children. We have one still waiting to get to go to school and then kindergarten all the way into high school with three that just graduated, well, 4 back to back to back to back. So we saw all those graduations, luckily. And but really going back to what the district can do to continue to improve. We already have a continuous improvement plan in place. And our board has joined forces with our Lone Star governance training in order to keep us accountable as well. And it all works to follow each other. So our administration has it, every campus has their own plan, but they all work to the same student goals and the same student outcomes, right? And so that way we not only are we holding each other accountable, we're holding all the way to our campuses accountable. We have actual scorecards that you can go in and see, and to keep it from ever changing, because that is something that can really hinder the growth and the promotion of a school district, is if it's a constant change. If everybody works for this plan and then we flip it and go, you know what, we like that plan better. So by that, we've taken it and put it into policy. So we can't have a new administrator, a new board member, whatever that is, come in and change it.
Okay. All right. So I have one last question for you all. And that question is, why should we vote for you as opposed to one of the other opponents? So I believe, Yolanda, it is your turn. She's grinning. She knew.
I already knew. I'm excited about the opportunity to serve as an MISD trustee. I bring with me my 32 years of classroom experience. Not only that, I've served in as I mentioned earlier, the Southern Baptist of Texas Convention. I have been on executive boards. I have been the recording secretary. In my school and in that tenure, I've worked on grade placement committees, I've worked on discipline committees, so you name it, I've been there. I'm still connected with a lot of my students who have graduated and gone on and had families of their own. My passion runs very deep for education, for all students across the board. I'm excited. I have the energy, I have the time, and I believe now is my time. My kids are young adults. I prioritize and I put them first. And one of my most important jobs was being a mom and being a wife. I'm also a pastor's wife, and so I'm able to listen and to hear the concerns and be empathetic I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and get in there and get in the fight with you, with the parents, with the administrators, with the teachers. I've been there. And so I understand, and I'm ready to get in the fight with you. So let's go.
What fight is she talking about?
Well, as you were stating before, I do think that I bring the senior level to the table, the knowledge of where we already are. There's no point of re-educating, revisiting items that already have been, so that we spend time on that. I do also acknowledge that I do appreciate new trustees and what they have to offer and bring to the table as well. I do have quite a large family, and as I said, they span throughout. But to tell you a little bit about myself, I do have a teaching certification. Business-wise, we have my family has owned and operated 4, maybe 5 businesses in town. 2 or 3 are still up and running and owned by different people now, and have grown up here and am a product of. And I am also proud of the fact that my children have graduated, the ones that have graduated, and what the products they have become from MISD. I carry the background of also working in a neighboring district and am privy to, I will say, inside information until it's made it all the way out. And then also, and maybe it gives me a heads up on things to look for, for our district as well. My actual children are a little bit older, so it does give me the time to spend and do what I've been doing. I worked in children's ministries for First Methodist for about 8 to 10 years. I don't remember exactly. So anyway, there you go. There's more.
Stay tuned.
First, knowing that there's limited time, I invite anyone to go to my website, www.corinne4misd.com. And I want to say to you that we need the voice of current parents and families on the board. And I definitely understand that there's voices from all perspectives that are needed. But right now, the voices of families who have young children is not represented on the board. And we need to have representation from people who are being currently impacted by the decisions that are being made by this leadership body. I have had experience in education policy and development. It's been my whole career working in nonprofit organizations and working towards education policy issues. I had the great pleasure of being part of Leadership ISD Tarrant County, which allowed me to go through the LSG training, the Lone Star Governance training. So I'm ready on day 1 to move forward with the priorities that have been set forth there. I had the great pleasure of learning more specifically about the district's operations and plans through Leadership MISD in this past year. And I'm active in organizations at my school. I don't know if I'm able to say that I'm part of the PTA. I've been doing those types of things. So I'm ready. I'm ready to represent the voice of parents in our district.
Okay. Well, that is all we have for today. I thank you very much for participating, and good luck to the 3 of you. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.